Hi, and welcome to my video review of the Zorro Macsk, or Macsk, or however they want to pronounce it. Really what it is it's a touchscreen cover that you put on your iMac. This one is for a 21-inch iMac. They also make them for the 27-inch iMac. And what I wanted to do is give you a video demonstration of how it works on a Mac, but because my Mac is wall-mounted, I thought I'll just use my MacBook Air, but as it turns out, it only works on iMacs. So what I'm going to do, since I'm not going to pull it off the wall to show you, and I'm not going to go into my incredibly dirty office to do a video, is I'm going to tell you how it works, because I've been using it for a while, and it's actually pretty fantastic. But first of all, let's take a look at what you get. The lights are dim for a reason, because I want to show you some more later, but what you get is this this cover that really isn't a whole lot to it. It's shaped exactly the same size as your iMac's front is going to be. Again, if you've got a 2012 or later iMac, and again, 21 or 27 inch. There are areas where tape is. I've used the tape. You also get new tape. I've reapplied tape so I can go stick it back on. There's a slight ridge around the edges that faces back so it sort of catches onto the screen, and then the tape holds it there. It's not stuck on so you can't take it off, but the tape will keep it on there without actually damaging the Mac in any way. And then other than that, there's a clear area down here where you see the nice little Apple logo on your iMac, a clear area up here where the camera goes through, and this part actually is completely non-existent. There's no anything here to touch. It uses sensors to tell where your finger is. Now, I think it may have shown up there, but I'm going to make this a little bit more easy to see by making it a bit darker in here. When your fingers go into the area, which I hope is showing up, is your little icon for the little Apple logo is going to glow blue. On here, it just shows it on the cardboard, but on the Mac, it actually looks pretty nice. It glows blue, and what it does is it indicates where it's seeing touch. And on screen, if this were on the iMac, and it works on it, but again, I'm not pulling it off the wall, it knows where you're touching. So what this basically does is exactly what it says it does. It turns the Mac into a really large touchscreen, and you're literally touching the screen of your Mac. There's nothing in the way here. It's the regular glass. Nothing adds a reflection to it or makes it harder to see or changes the colors or anything. You're literally looking at your iMac screen, but you now have touch capabilities. And I found this to be actually pretty sensitive. If you put a pin in here, it's not going to detect that. You're not going to get pixel accuracy in your touches, but it works about as well as, in fact, it works almost identically to how a touchscreen would work on a large tablet. If you've got the iPad Pro, and you've got a smaller iMac like this size, it sort of works about the same, except here, this gives you really OS X in all of its full glory. Now, as I said, it works great. You put it on, it does exactly what you think it will. It indicates where your fingers are, it does multi-finger touch, you get all the gestures you'd expect. OS X is actually fairly gesture compliant, even though most people don't get a chance to use that because the number of touchscreen Macs is it's about 0. So this gives you a touchscreen Mac. It's built into the operating system. It is very sensitive and lets you drag your finger around and knows where you're touching. Handles multiple fingers fairly well. You can confuse it if they're too close together, but generally if you're doing a typical gesture, it's going to notice those things. You can zoom, you can contract, and you know, drag, whatever you want to do. It's like having what I think the iPad should be, which is OS X on them instead of iOS. Much more of a fan of OS X. But anyway, for the price, it does exactly what it says. It stays on. It works great. It does not interfere in any way with the picture. You got that nice Retina display or whatever. You're going to still have a nice Retina display because there's literally, as you can see, nothing in the way. It uses sensors to find there are sensors along the entire rim, and basically when you block one of them, actually you're blocking sensors this way, and it knows, therefore, if this is blocked and this is blocked, it knows your finger's here. It sees a couple of blockages, it can deduce where your fingers are, and it does a really good job with that. I guess the question left up to you then is, do you need a touchscreen Mac? A lot of people won't. But if you have kids that like to play games, or especially if they like to paint, this is a lot less expensive than an iPad. You put it on an iMac, and then the kids can paint with their fingers. Can you clean it off? Yeah, because you can clean iMac screens pretty easily. They're just glass. So all in all, if you're looking for something to make your Mac a touchscreen device, I'm not saying you are, but if you're looking at this review, you probably are, this works brilliantly. You can see the blue light here even with the light on. Every time you touch, this glows. That might get to you. I kind of like it because it looks really nice on the Apple logo. And you know it's working. All you do, and again, since I just had it plugged in to show the blue, it won't work with anything except an iMac. I tried it with a Mac Mini. I tried it with the Air. It's got to be an iMac, got to be 2012 cents. But basically, you take it, you plug it in, you stick it on, you're done. It's in the same color as you can maybe you can see. It's a little bit flexible. So You know, I wouldn't go waving around until it's on, but it's sturdy, doesn't seem to have any problems, and does not affect the surface at all of the iMac once you take it off. Comes with multiple pieces of tape, so you can apply it a few different times. Odds are you're going to put it on, leave it on. Adds very little thickness to the front of the iMac. I'm not sure exactly, half centimeter. I mean, you're looking at maybe a 1/4 inch or something like that. So, in the end, if you want touchscreen capabilities, this works brilliantly. iOS, who cares? Get OS 10 with the touchscreen. OS 10 actually does have pretty decent touch capabilities. So, if that's what you're looking for, I do recommend it. It works very well. It does not affect the Mac at all. And it's a nice color complement to it. So, go for it. I really like it. Thank you.